Beginning in 1983, Darryl Anka began channeling an extraterrestrial entity known as Bashar. Over the years, the general topic of these communications was the nature of physical reality and the parameters that are involved. Bashar was once asked if we are living in a simulation. He answered yes, but it is a simulation that we create for ourselves. Physical reality is created from consciousness. There is a global consciousness which is a composite of all the input from individual consciousnesses. Between the individual consciousnesses and global consciousness there is a constant back and forth sharing of information. We are always both contributing to creation of physical reality and making observations of it. As individuals we have the most influence on the definition of the things that are the most directly connected to our personal experience. While we tend to experience a linear lifetime of events, what we experience is just a fraction of valid possibilities. Throughout our lives we face many choices, each with its own potential paths from that point. All of those paths do exist as one of infinite parallel realities. Each of those paths also branch out as choices are encountered along the way. In the early days of the Bashar channeled messages there was one called Shifting Through Infinity that was fundamental to my current understanding of how physical reality works. Back in the 80s, moving pictures, movies were still recorded on film. A strip of movie film contains a series of still images that vary slightly from one to the next. Modern digital video also is recorded in a series of still images. When projected on a screen at several frames per second, you see a scene that has motion. The illusion of motion comes from the rapid moving through all of the still images. Similarly, physical reality consists of countless three-dimensional still frames of reality. In shifting through these physical frames of reality at thousands of frames per second we get the illusion of physical motion. There are an infinite number of possibilities for us to experience from one moment to the next, from one frame of reality to the next. While we typically are constantly shifting to a frame of reality that is next down the current timeline moving forward, there is no rule that says that is the case. A frame of physical reality consists of a detailed description of one's immediate surroundings. All of the objects included are also fully defined. Those descriptions include a time parameter as well as a spatial location. 1,000 times per second we project frames of physical reality based on our interpretations of the descriptions involved. When involved in a shared situation or event each person will be experiencing a slightly different stream of reality frames. Those differences will generally be in very small details. We can shift from one frame of reality to the next by default, following down the timeline we are currently on or one very similar to it. This is normally done without being aware of it and often by default. It is still possible to control how we shift from one physical frame to the next. When we focus on an intent and put emotion into that we put out a vibration. In doing so, we can cause ourselves to shift into a frame of reality that matches that vibration and resonates with the intent. This effect is often referred to as the law of attraction. While it may seem to work by attraction, it is not a matter of attracting something into your reality as it is moving into a reality where the object or situation already exists. Some definitions in closing. The future is an infinite array possibilities that can be reached from the path we are currently on. The past is the story of everything that led up to the current moment you are in. If you were to shift to a now moment that is substantially different than the current one, it is possible that you could result with the past changing as well.